Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back today with episode 1 of a full playthrough of Outer Worlds. If you are a fan of Fallout or TV shows like Firefly, the movie Serenity that came afterwards, you are going to love this game. It has all of the mechanics of Fallout that you love and you know, and it's based in a universe that is pretty much Space Cowboys, Firefly. Some of the characters in the game are even based off of some of the characters from Firefly, loosely. There's an engineer kind of like Haley, whose name is Pravati, who is kind of based off her. It's just all kinds of good stuff. So if you're a fan of that stuff, you are really going to enjoy this game. So let's get started. New game, we're going to go with hard. Your options are story mode, which you're used to seeing in most games, normal, and then there's hard and supernova. Supernova I will do if I get enough views on the playthrough and people really want to see it. We'll definitely do a supernova playthrough, but for right now we're going to just stick with hard, and we are going to leave the subtitles on just for anybody that can't turn on the audio or who is challenged when it comes to the audio in general, so they can enjoy the game too. But let's get into it. Awesome game. You're going to love it.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
And on to character creation. So, the character creation that you are familiar with from all of the Fallout games is generally going to be something that you should recognize in this game as well. So you've got various high-level attributes, and based on the points you put in these attributes, it applies points to skills. For this playthrough, I'm going to try to create a sniper build. So we're going to
memorized how many digits of pi?
3.14159, and that's about all I really care about. Perception.
Nothing gets past you. You would have made a formidable constable.
So the reason we're going with perception is this 35% bonus to extra headshot and weak spot damage. That's going to be good. Intelligence, we're going with this because it gives us 35% critical damage. That's just where we're pointing our initial points. Once you do this, this just puts... I think you get an extra 6 points in each skill that's listed here based on how many points you put in here. So I think we get 18 and 18 extra points put in each one of these. But let's move on to skills, and we'll talk about these. So the way skills work in this game is when you put points into a group of skills.
What I wouldn't pay to see you challenge the chairman to fisticuffs.
It will allow you to apply skill points globally when you put points in. So if you click this, you can see it adds 10 points.
How exciting.
To one-handed melee and two-handed melee. So each one of them gets 10.
Ah, a blunt force trauma specialist. I might have a job for you.
Now, once you get any one of these skills to level 50, it doesn't get included in the global application of points to the group. You start having to level them individually at level 50. So that's where, once you get 50 points put in a given skill, if it's something you're really interested in, that's where you really have to get, double down on putting points directly into it and saying, like, this is the skill I'm going with. So for what we're going to do here, I think, let's see here. So you can see we got 18 points here in Persuade, and that's because of where we put points in and some of the other skills to begin with. Long gun crit chance. I guess we'll go with, I'm going to put
You
points
certainly
here.
know your way around a mag pick.
And I'm going to put points here.
You could make a vicar doubt the law.
There we go. The conversation options really do help sometimes, especially as you get into some of the more difficult conversations, and also as you get a little bit deeper into the game. It'll allow you to get past some interesting situations with a little persuasion or some intimidation or just outright lying. So that's where we're going to put those in there. This stuff is really good too. Yeah. This is the only skill set that I haven't really played too much around with. It's based on kind of leveling up your companions, who become really helpful. But there's also a build you can run that lets you run without any companions. Just for the sake of the video, we're going to run with companions for this because some of the conversations that the companions have are pretty funny, and I want you guys to see that stuff. So that's what we're going with there. Aptitude. Let's see. Drink, block, persuade. Might go with persuade here.
I can be reasonably sure you know how to add and subtract.
Yeah, we'll stick with that. All right, what do we look like? You really don't see yourself, kind of like in Fallout, you really don't see yourself very much in the game, except when you go to your character screen. You see your companions a lot, but otherwise you're generally looking at the back of yourself. So, features, makeup, dirt, scar, age. You know what? I think we're just going to go with the old standard build here. And what's your name? Well, obviously. Duh. Okay. It gave us, what, 3 points in, yeah. Alright, that all looks good. That's going to be our build to start off, and we shall see how this goes.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 9%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
I think you can get a gauge for what the game's humor is already.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in Law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh?
Hawthorne was definitely close by.
I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
The environments that they did in the game are so cool. Such quality. Alright, up and over. Oh, food. Oh. Look, pets. I still think that if Hawthorne was a dashing gunslinger, I should have been able to loot his body and get dashing gunslinger gear from him. Uh-oh. Sneak through the weeds here. Uh-oh. No. You don't smell anything. You don't see anything. This is not happening. No. Shh. 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 Alright, we'll drop down here.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
So instead of the VAT combat system that we had in Fallout, there is the concept of being able to slow down time and then shoot things. And that's what you have here. Oh, God. And you do take fall damage if you fall. So In that scenario, there's very little opportunity to not take fall damage.
Hey, you. Come.
Hey, how you doing?
You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one.
Yes, you do.
Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Well, there won't be any fraternizing with you. Alright, let's steal some of his stuff. When you first get started here, man, ammo is just so hard to come by. I mean, it's brutal. But later on, it doesn't become as much of an issue. But early on, whew, ammo's rough. Alright, we're going to blow these up.
Damage my ears!
And we're going to put this on.
What just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Oh! Alright. Uh-oh. Okay. Good times. Sorry, I'm a little spoiled, so I just recently got done with doing a full playthrough of the game. And I think you get used to like your level of power once you're kind of in late game and you're used to just murking stuff, and you start the game again, you're like, why did that headshot do no damage? That's odd. So hacking and lockpicking in the game, there's no mini game for this. It's just effectively if you have the skill, you can see there's a 28/5 down there in the middle of the screen in that little circle. 28 is our current lockpicking skill, and 5 is the lockpicking skill required in order to open this container. So that's what that means. We will grab that. Grab ourselves another lockpick. And I think we'll grab that. We'll grab that and that. And we will loot his body. Another Century Saber. Melee combat is fun in the game. It's just not my preferred, but if you're a subscriber to the channel, you know that in general, I'm not a person who's fond of melee combat because, well, I suck at it. And that's kind of the stop time thing that I was telling you about, or slow time thing that I was telling you about, that you do that is in lieu of the VATS system. It actually works out pretty well. Alright, so we've killed 5 enemies and we burned through about 20 or so ammo. So you can see if you don't use too much ammo, you do recover it fairly quickly from enemies, but if you start burning through it pretty heavily like we have, you can definitely get yourself into a situation where you're completely out of ammo. So, early on, too, that's definitely the case in the game, if I didn't mention that previously. That's an experience I had in the game that I wasn't particularly pleased with early on.
Get over here before you get yourself killed.
Who are you talking to like that, lady?
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Of course I am. I'm a superior officer. Stands to reason, don't it? Just you watch. I'll cross these marauders off with a swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what?
Charge!
You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Go get him! Get him!
I just earned a fine bonus.
Waste of company ammo.
Nothing like getting them to kill your enemies for you. And there is a mini-map in the game. Look at that. Pretty awesome, right? Okay, so just FYI, if you're going to go play it by yourself your first time through, you probably don't want to wander over here early on. There are some big nasty monkeys over there, and you'll run out of ammo pretty quick screwing around with them. And to just prove that point, let me show you. Let me show you what not to do. Yeah, see that thing? Big, nasty. Here's one right here. Let me quick save. Trust me, I've been down this road before. This doesn't end well. Can we get a headshot? Oh, they're all coming. Nope, 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 nope. That's not going to work out. See, I told you. Anyways, you can kind of sneak down around through in here and do some looting. But kind of have to be careful that you don't get spotted because the monkeys are perceptive. I think this one here is sleeping. That's why we can move through here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to come screw with them just a bit later once we are a little more powerful. But early on, one headshot taking about 5% of their health away is never going to lead to anything good. And the monkeys will charge you in large groups. They burrow underground, and they're fun. They're fun. So, anyways, just a little example of why you don't want to go screw with them early on. There is some loot to be had over there, but maybe not the best thing to do right away.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health.
Let's see here.
Intruders are not authorized to access the Unreliable's amenities, including the cargo hold's workbench. Marauder, please be informed that the engine room contains nothing of value.
Ugh. And I think if we head up here, there is very little
All
that you gain
doors are on
access to,
security lockdown. Nice try,
other
Marauder.
than the kitchen. Let's see, what's in the refrigerator here? Pick me up a lager. Alright, we'll go back down and chat up the ship's computer and introduce ourselves.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? It is difficult for me to do so. I am programmed to accept commands from Captain Alex Hawthorne, after all. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Okay, we have 10 points available, and so when we started the game, we actually had 20 points available, but it only showed that we had 2, so every time we spent a point, it was giving us 10. That may be a bug they're going to fix, I don't know. But now it says we have 10 points available, and every time you spend a point, it will increase your various skills by 1 point. Same thing as we talked about before, as you spend 1 point, but as long as anything in the group is not 50, 1 point will be spent into all of them as you spend a point. We'll revert that from now. Quick talk about the skills, because we didn't talk about them in the beginning. You can see that at various points along the way as you level up your skills, you get various different types of damage or bonuses along the way. So one thing we are definitely going to put points into is going to be... I think we'll put some points in dialogue here. And we'll put some points in there. And we'll put some points into here. Effectively, we're trying to get long guns up to 50, and we'll focus on that. As you can see, once we get it to 60, the headshot bonus is that's pretty significant. So, yeah. Let's talk about that now that that's been applied. And we'll go over to perks. So perks are a excellent way to add some additional functionality to your character. There are many different perks that you'll find in here that are specific to running without companions. But as I said, we will not be doing that. Your companions aren't particularly... They're not particularly great when you're trying to sneak and steal things, or sneak and attack things, but we're going to run with them anyways. First things first, we are going to increase our carrying capacity, as in all games like Skyrim and Fallout. That's pretty important, and can also be incredibly annoying when you're trying to, you know, like loot stuff and you run out of room. So that's the extent of what we can really do in here until we get the Unreliable, which is our ship here. Welcome aboard the Unreliable. Until we get the Unreliable working, we can't get into any of the various areas that are available. So,
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it?
my ship?
Because
No.
you sure walked in it like it was your ship.
No.
And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. I'm afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.